I'm Robert Howarth. I'm an Earth system scientist. I've been a faculty member at Cornell University for 35 years. I'm an expert on methane and global warming. I've worked on methane since the 1970s. I was a member of the panel on methane and other greenhouse gases for the National Academy of Sciences way back in the 1980s. I've continued to work and teach on methane. Methane is the second most important greenhouse gas after carbon dioxide, and it's not fully understood by many, but about 25% of the global warming we've experienced over the last few decades is due to methane. It's a powerful part of our problem. Methane was steady for the first decade of this century. That was the good news. But since about 2008, 2009, methane levels have been increasing rapidly in the atmosphere, again, increasing the global warming we've experienced over this last decade. And my research, and that of many others at this point, indicates that at least 1/3 and perhaps up to 60% of the total global increase in methane is coming from the shale gas development in North America and largely in the United States. So we really need to get a grip on this methane. Now, one of the things to keep in mind about methane is that if you increase emissions, it has an immediate effect on warming. If you slow or cut emissions, it also has an immediate effect of slowing the rate of global warming. That's unlike carbon dioxide, where there are lags of decades as we increase or decrease emissions. What that means is if we want to reach the United Nations COP21 target of keeping the planet well below 2 degrees Celsius, we really need to cut methane emissions. That's the low-hanging fruit for doing so. We cannot do so with carbon dioxide alone because of lags in the climate system. In addition to the climate influence of methane, methane has adverse consequences on agriculture and on human health. It's a precursor for ground-level ozone. And we already are seeing that the agricultural productivity of the United States is somewhat diminished from ozone. People's health is very much imperiled by ozone, and methane from the oil and gas industry plays a major role in that. So I urge you to take a very close look at methane, consider the consequences from developing oil and gas, and particularly shale oil and shale gas, and do whatever you can to reduce those emissions.